Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back with a 2-for-1 special, 2 videos today. If you haven't seen my other one, the earlier video I put out today was on Space Virgin Galactic, so make sure you check that one out first. But in the second video, I was getting a lot of requests for Gamestop, ticker symbol GME. And if you listen closely, you can listen to the sound of a bunch of screeching kids on a certain subreddit because of this ticker. But let's get right into it. Let's talk about the technical analysis. Let's talk about what happened in GameStop recently that made everybody lose their minds. And let's talk about some of the news and recent earnings on GameStop. So let's get right into it. Looking at the Robinhood trading graph here, you can see today, at least on a Thursday, had a pretty decent day, right? Up 3.4% for GameStop. Nice recovery. It was down almost 5% pre-market. Recovered within the first half an hour of market trading. Traded flat, and then towards the end of the day rallied a little bit more. So overall, good day for GameStop. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. So this is where the big G happened, right? On December 8th to December 9th, take a look at this. GameStop went from about $17 or so, actually just shy of $17, all the way down to $13 or $14 or so. So big G moment, just fell off a cliff there. So the real question is what happened? And let's get right into that before we take a look at the technical analysis to close up the video. So this article really explains it all. This article just came out earlier this morning, and really the big drop was because of really poor earnings that GameStop just had. So take a look at this. Their stock dropped 18% this week because of those poor earnings. So revenues of $1 billion came in almost 8% below forecast. But the one silver lining is that their losses were not as bad as they thought they were going to be. They were actually 67% smaller than what analysts had expected. So that's a little silver lining here. But let's take a look at GameStop and why I don't think this is a good stock at all. I think this is a quintessential hype stock or meme stock promoted by certain subreddits, and people just kind of went crazy over it. And now it finally came back to earth, and people are still going crazy. They don't understand. And this is why I don't think it's a good stock. So right now, the average price target by analysts fell 40%. Okay. So right now, the most bullish analyst is valuing it at $19, and the most bearish analyst is valuing it at $1.60. That's such a wide range there. On average, the average analyst price target is $9.73. Now, remember, I just showed you that Robinhood graph. We're trading in the $13, $14 range right now. So still well above the average analyst price target. So does that mean there's still more room for GameStop to drop? Maybe. We'll take a look at it when we look at the TA in just a few minutes. But reading through this article again, here's another thing why I don't want to wheel this ticker, because I'm not bullish on this company long term. I could easily see GameStop going bankrupt and nobody batting an eye, because nowadays video games are sold online. Now you're going to say, but Solo, what about the new consoles that are coming out? What about the PS5? What about the new Xbox? Yeah, that's great, but you can buy the same PS5 and the same Xbox through Amazon once it's back in stock, or through Walmart, or through Best Buy, and then get it delivered to your house within a few days and never have to step foot outside. So why would anybody need to drive to a physical GameStop and buy a console and drive it home? Because they want it immediately? Okay, there's no even guarantee that you're going to get one right now anyway. But if you're that desperate that you need to buy a game console and you can't wait a day or two, I think you need to take a chill pill, bro. But anyway, let's take a look at this. So this article is saying that GameStop, they're actually expected to have a decline over the next few years. So it says this would be a much better result than the 8.9% annual decline over the past 5 years. Okay? Other companies in the same kind of gaming industry, their revenue is expected to grow 9% per year, not drop 9% a year. So it's kind of crazy that people are even buying this ticker at all to begin with. But again, I think this is just one of those hype stocks where somebody said something online, people piled on, just drove the price to the moon, and now the smart money is selling at the top, and some people are left bag holding shares or options. So here's the trading view graph on GameStop. You can see we did do some preliminary TA a while back, but it is due for some updating. So I think I am going to keep the fib levels right where they are because the recent low hasn't really changed from October 30th when it was about $10 and some change. And the most recent high hasn't changed since November 30th when intraday it was as high as about $19.50. So here's the big day between December 8th and December 9th. And you can see earnings happened right then. So they were estimated to have negative 0.85 and they reported negative 0.29. So the numbers were better than they thought, but it must have been other factors such as the guidance that really drove the stock down. Now, looking at the RSI curve right now, right where it is, and today, like I said, we had a green day up about 3.4% to close at about $14 and some change. Right now, we're neither overbought nor oversold. So it looks like the RSI curve is right and happy where it is right now. However, look at what happened from that big sell-off. We sold off pretty much right to the orange line, which is the 21-day moving average, and stayed above the pink line, which is the 50-day moving average. If I zoom in, check this out. Both of these intraday lows got awfully close to the 50-day moving average. So that tells me that I think right now, the 50-day MA is going to act as an area of support, and that's right now at just shy of $13. Now, I have some, obviously, these yellow lines, which are areas of support and resistance that I've drawn a while ago. I think one other line we can add in is somewhere right around here, and that's going to be at about $17 or so. You can see for about 4 trading days in the past week and a half, we kind of topped out there around $17, at least these candles did. And that's awfully close actually to the 23.6% Fibonacci level, which is right at about $17 and let's say 30 cents or so. So I think somewhere in the low to mid $17 range is going to be an area of resistance. I also have this green trend line that I drew. I can extend it out if I want, but I don't think it's going to help us right now because we sold off below that trend line. So that tells me that we've broken out of this upward trend that we were in from about the middle to the end of November. So the real question I'm sure everybody wants to know is where do I think GameStop is going to go now? I think it's going to be safe at around $12 or $13, meaning I think there's going to be support there. And we closed today right above this area of support that I drew at about $14. So I am going to look to see if we can close out the week on a green note and maybe close closer to somewhere around the high $14 range or maybe even get up to around $15. Looks like we tried to do that 2 days ago, or I should say yesterday, and we weren't able to close above there. In fact, we had a red day that day. But that's where my next level of resistance is, and my current level of support is at around the low $14 range. And if I zoom out, that's really kind of a weak area in my opinion. There's not a lot of price action as you can see in that trading range. I drew that because it looks like this candle here on November 23rd topped out there. The next 2 candles kind of bottomed out there. And then maybe we had 3 candles that topped out there back in mid-October. So not a lot of price action in that range, but I'm going to allow it and keep it there just to see what happens. But I think the stronger area of support is still going to be this 50-day moving average, which is right around $12.80 or so. So the real question is, where is GameStop going to go tomorrow? Is it going to hold this area of support and then go up and be green? Or is that not going to get confirmed and are we going to sell off again and retest this 50-day moving average in the high $12 range? If that does happen, I would get worried then if on the following trading day next week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in the short term, if maybe that 50-day moving average breaks. If that then does break, if we have a sell-off tomorrow and the beginning of the trading week next week, I would be very concerned because then the next level of support is going to be all the way down around high $11. And that's a stronger area of support. Looks like there's a lot of price action around that range. And then after that will be somewhere in the mid $10 range, which is going to be in line with our most recent low, which happened on October 30th. GameStop is too much of a wild card right now. As far as I know, there's no more catalysts in terms of potential good or bad news that could come out on GameStop aside from the holiday console sales. But again, you know, physical GameStop stores aren't going to get 100 PS5s to sell, right? They only get a couple. If you're lucky to get in there or have a pre-order, maybe you'll get one. But most people, if they're looking to get an Xbox or a PS5 for Christmas, they're probably going to look online on Amazon, on Walmart, on Best Buy, companies like that where you can sit in your pajamas, order them online, have it delivered to your door. Sometimes they'll even gift wrap them for you, right? So why would anybody want to go out in the wintertime if you live in a colder climate and go to a physical retail store? It just doesn't make sense. Same thing with video games. Just buy them online, have them shipped to your house in 2 days with Amazon Prime, and you're all cozy by the fireplace playing some video games. So that's really my 10-minute technical analysis on GameStop. Let me know if you were crazy enough to buy or sell shares on this stock or buy or sell options on this ticker. Hopefully you made money. If not, let me know in the comments below. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments below. Add me on Discord, add me on Twitter, add me on Instagram, follow me on Reddit. And as always, happy trading.